Hi guys, it's me again, Charles Norman for Sports Solutions LLC. We are the creators of AthleticSOS. AthleticSOS is a software technology platform that you can join at absolutely no cost, and it will take your academic information, the sports you play, the level you think you participate at the collegiate level, and the area, the region of the country that you're interested in the U.S., and we'll show you all the schools you qualify for academically that have your sport and offer athletic scholarships, and you can start working from there. And that's basically what we do. And so, as always, down in the bottom, I give you a code, I give you the instructions, and I tell you how to use it. So this one's going to be fun for me because I get this so much. By the way, you guys, we're growing like crazy on AthleticSOS, and you know, it's funny, we do a lot of other little things. We work with a lot of groups and organizations and institutions to help kids use our software. And that piece of the software is a little more complicated than what I'm offering you guys at no cost, but my piece is growing the fastest, and everybody's like, all you do is sit in a park and talk. But you guys are starting to trust me, as I think, and then you're starting to understand what I'm trying to achieve, and I am thrilled to death. So I want to thank you guys for that. But so the question I get all the time, because I'm going out and I'm talking to a lot of the club programs now, and everybody, there's this unspoken truth that's out there, and it really comes down to, is this thing rigged? So, you know, a lot of times you get on the club teams and maybe you're on the third team, but the first team is all the best players. They're probably the ones that are going to get the athletic scholarships, and they're not even paying to be on there. Or if they are paying, they're getting way more out of it than you think you are. All your tournaments are local, where they're going on a national tour to showcase their skill set, all of that kind of stuff. So the question is this thing rigged? Is it even worth it? Am I going to get there, you know, type of situation? So I want to tell two stories here. And so one is on Super Bowl Sunday. I got invited to a Super Bowl party. I didn't know the people that were giving the party, but someone invited me because they're trying to do business with these people. They're really high level area of California. I live in Southern California. I think I live in a great area, but this is way past what you don't even know that area is there. That's how, because you would never drive through there. It's just beautiful, spectacular. So I go to this house. I'm at this Super Bowl party. It's a sprawling party, and I'm watching the game on one of the mini TVs they had. They had everything set up. It's just fantastic. Great host. And so the people I'm sitting on the couch with, we're talking, and you know, and everyone's in business. It's a business type of situation. And they, you know, what do you do type thing. And so I said, hey, you know, we develop software in the youth sports industry, and we're pretty proud of our piece of software. And the guy goes, hey, can I see it? So I'm showing him on my phone how the software works. He goes, wow, this is fantastic. He goes, our daughter is going to we think she's going to get an athletic scholarship for water polo. And I said, oh, wow. I go, that's unusual. I go, you know, it's funny, because if she would have played either basketball or volleyball or tennis or gymnastics, she'd get a full ride. And he goes, I think she's getting a full ride. I know her friend that just got one this past year. She's getting ready to go. And he called his wife over. He goes, hey, the guy was saying, and he named the girl's name, didn't she get a full ride scholarship? And the mom goes, no, she got a partial. And he goes, oh, wow, you know, I just assumed she got a full ride. And then she said, well, she's getting some academic money too. Great student, right? And then he said, he goes, I just assumed when you said she got a scholarship that it was a full ride. So anyway, come to find out that the mom, his wife, was a former water polo player, and they both graduated from this really prestigious university, and that's where they thought they felt like their daughter was going to get a scholarship, because the mom volunteers as a coach for that school, right? So she volunteers, and she's helping train her own daughter, and she happened to be a alternate for the U.S. Olympic team some 20 years ago for water polo. So I'm like, wow, these guys, they're great people, but man, they've got quite an advantage for their daughter. So if she's gonna, probably she's gonna make it. And so I'm thinking, wow, you know, that they got a great situation here for their daughter. She's got great grades. She plays a sport where her mom was already at the Olympic level. She's probably getting trained at this high level. Good for them, right? So we're sitting, Super Bowl is playing, and somebody else mentioned how many of the players that they remember back in the day, because we're all a little older, right, that their kids are now playing. You know, I really feel old. This gentleman that was sitting next to me said, wow, that doesn't seem fair for the other players that are they're working really hard. They're not going to get a chance to get to the pros. They're not going to get a chance to play at that level because it's being used up by all the former players' kids. And I'm going, what? Inside my head. I didn't say anything out loud. And, you know, and we had a pleasant Super Bowl. And so, but I remembered that, and I thought about it later on, how that situation all played out. Then a few weeks later, my wife's birthday is in February, so we always go to dinner with her siblings. We all get together and go eat. And so we went over to their house. Before we went out to eat, we all drove over to one of her brother's house, and we're all going to kind of ride together. We're going to eat in that area. And so we're sitting there, and it's the Saturday before the All-Star game, the basketball NBA All-Star game. And they're talking, we're watching it, and it's a slam dunk contest time. And so we're watching it, and one of the people, I think it's Kenyon Martin, his son was in it. Somebody like that was in it. And so my brother-in-law was saying, wow, that's pretty cool. You know, his son is playing there. And I said, yeah, but you know, it feels to me like some kids aren't going to make it. Like his son's probably got the best training. His dad played in there. He's probably got all these connections, and he probably played on the, you know, with the best kids and got a chance to get exposure. And then, you know, his name is out there already. And I go, man, it just makes it tough for the other people. And he goes, well, you know, that's the way it is. That's how the world works. And hey, I would do the same thing, you know, if I had a chance to do that for my kid. And I go, you know what? You may be right. So then we go to dinner, and we're sitting at dinner, and we're just talking. And I'm asking about my nephew, his son. And he said, yeah, he goes, you know, he was up for his promotion, and this other guy got it. This other guy's so lazy, and I don't know how he pulled that off and everything. He goes, you know what the bad part is? He's the nephew of the owner of the company, and I just think that that's wrong. You shouldn't be giving that guy that job. I don't think he works as hard. My son does overtime, and he does the books for them, and he does this, and he does that. And I'm going, did we just have this same conversation just earlier? So anyway, so I'm just bringing this stuff up so that we understand in life, the world is rigged in a certain way. And if you had the opportunity, you would rig it your way too a little bit. You're not going to try to be totally unfair, but it's just human nature to, if someone is connected to you in a certain way, or if you have an advantage over other people, you're going to use that advantage. And so that's what I kind of keep telling you guys is you can't sit and wait. So if you're on that travel club program, which all this stuff is starting to come up pretty soon, right? If you're on that travel club program and you're on team 3, maybe you need to move to another travel club program. You could wait your turn. I get that if you want to wait your turn. But if your kid's as good as the kids on team 1 and the club is saying, hey, just hold on, you're going to get there, but we owe these people, you know, they've been in our club for a long time, then maybe you wait. But I always say, if you're going to do all of that, why would you not use the AthleticSOS software and do these things? These are the things that you guys should be doing, period. You want to make sure that you're taking the right courses, right? Has everybody gone and talked to their high school counselor and said, I want to play D1 sports. I need to make sure I'm taking the courses that are going to get me in D1 sports. Get good grades. You need that 3.5 or above. One of the things I didn't point out at that Super Bowl party, that their daughter was at a 4.2 GPA. So you got to be on your game. So she's going to get athletic money, and she's probably going to get academic money. So you got to be 3.5 above, because then they can start looking at some academic money, just in case you don't play a head count sport, you play an equivalency sports, which means you're not going to get a full ride, like water polo. You're not going to get a full ride most of the time. But anyway, so you want to make sure you're doing that. You got your grades up, you're taking the right courses, and you've taken them for the long enough time to play at the NCAA Division I level. Next thing, you got to take the ACT and the SAT. Take both, because certain schools look at one and not the other, and you don't know which schools you fit best with. So make sure you take both of those tests and do the best you can on those tests. I know a lot of the colleges are not forcing you to take it anymore in order to get accepted. But if you're looking at apples and apples, there's 2 kids, they're playing sports. One took the ACT, SAT, and one didn't. One has shown a little more oomph about themselves, and I probably would take that kid. All things being equal, why wouldn't I? Okay, so go ahead and take those tests anyway. And if you don't do well on them, don't use it. But if you do well on them, use it, okay? Next thing, you got to get exposure. And when I say get exposure, it's not good enough just to be on a travel club team that's going around the circuit and playing you're in a showcase, or you're in a viewing tournament where college coaches are coming out to see all you guys play. You got to be playing against other college level players, right? And you got to be, if you're not starting, you got to get to where you're starting at some point. Otherwise, you kind of, unless you're just on a high level team, then that's okay. Or you're really young. Maybe you're 9th or 10th grade, and maybe you're not starting just yet, but you're getting a lot of playing time. You got to be playing. Do not sit on a team that's got you sitting on the bench while they're explaining to you that, you know, they're not working hard enough, or, you know, we got to get your skill set up, and you're paying them money. Then you need to go someplace where you're going to get an opportunity to play, make some mistakes, and get better. But you got to be in it to win it, right? You got to be getting better, which is my next piece of this puzzle. You got to get trained. You got to find a trainer, and you don't just find any trainer. You find a trainer who's going to train your kid for the position they will play at college. And here's the reason why. Say you're playing high school level, right? You're on varsity in high school. And let's say you're playing on a travel club team. Wherever they have you playing is where they're going to have you playing. There's not a lot you can do about that. But if you're going to play you want to play at the collegiate level, you got to get ready for that position. So let's say you're a kid that's playing forward. Maybe I'm just going to put basketball in here right now. Let's say you're a 6'5" kid, pretty big kid, and they've got you in a high school team as a forward, and they can use you on the travel club. You're sort of a forward. But you're really, if you go to college, especially if you're going to try to play at a high level, D1, maybe D2, you know what, any level. You're 6'5", you're probably going to play a 2-guard, or you may play a small forward, but you got to be able to face the basket, and you got to be able to move. If you're playing power forward somewhere and you're on the block all the time and you're getting the ball and you turn in and you're looking and people are cutting off of you and you're trying to find the right person, and then you might turn and face up and drive on somebody. No. You got to have the ball in your hands. You got to be handling the ball, and you got to be able to be in space, and you got to be able to make moves and get to where you need to get to, or if you get the rebound, you need to be able to push up the court. Now, it's getting better and better in that sport. More, even the tall kids, the centers can bring the ball to the court now. Everybody's not as rigid as they were when I was coming up, but still, you get the idea. And so think about this in every single sport. And if you play a sport where it's a timing thing, like your track and field, or you're in rifle, you know, we got a lot of kids coming in now for the shooting thing. You got to get better. And specialize. That is the other thing I was going to bring up. Try to find something that you can specialize in that maybe not a lot of people like to go into because they don't like that piece of it, and then get into that world. So try to find, you're positioning yourself. This is if you guys have watched any of my back videos, I used to go overboard with this about a year ago on positioning. You've got to put yourself in position to succeed and to make it so that somebody is saying, hey, you know what, we need that. And this person's perfectly positioned. We've got it open. Let's pick them. And so that's the next thing you want to do, right? And so it's the exposure piece of it. So those are the things that you want to do as far as putting yourself in the best position to be offered an athletic scholarship. But here's the other thing. I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm part of a group, and I won't even name the group. But anyway, it's a lot of ex-players and things like this. And the guy that runs the group, he wrote a little story in LinkedIn. And in the story, he was talking about how he's getting all of these former professional players that are contacting him because he has this big group of former athletes, people in business, software and technology, all in the sports arena. And I'm part of that group. And so he says, hey, if anybody has any job openings for these former players, let me know, because they're all calling, but I don't have jobs to offer them. But everybody's looking for something to do because they're retired and they're stuck. They don't know what to do next, and they're trying to find some place to land. And so this is why I keep telling you guys what we're trying to do. We're trying to build a set of youth that are in position so when they stop playing, they've got their next thing to do. And this is where we come to the social media, building your own social media empire while you're playing. And you're not trying to be, you know, outrageous or anything. You're just going to show your workouts. You're going to show, you know, some of your game footage if you can, and some situations that go on in the game footage. You're going to talk about your diet. You're going to talk about the things you're doing in your community to give back. Remember, give. The more you give, the more your life's going to be joyous anyway, but things are going to fold back to you. And you don't give to get back, but it's going to happen. It's just going to happen because you're going to be in a better situation. So you want to start your own social media so that when you get done playing, even if you get in the NIL in college and you know you're getting a name, image, and likeness, that's what that means, and you can start making some money in college now because that rule has changed. You want to have your own group of people too that are following you, and that can help you also get that athletic scholarship, right? If I'm a college coach, you've got this big following on social media, they seem really loyal to you, I can bring you to my college and those people are going to follow you there. Now I got a new set of fans who might stick around after you leave. Maybe they won't, maybe they will, but those are still your fans. Those are people that are looking at you and they're watching you progress. And this is great for you because once you finish playing, now you can go back and say, okay, I need to go get a job, obviously. I need to have some money coming in. But also, what can I do with these people that have been following me all these years? Well, I can show them my post-athletic lifestyle and what I'm turning into, and making sure I don't get out of shape, and how I change my workout routine to stay in great shape, but not necessarily compete at that highest level. And what does that look like? And how's a day in the life of a former athlete at that level? And so all of these things are cool, and then you can find things that maybe they would want to purchase, things that they may be going through that they're going to need as they go through the college thing. You know, you don't know what that is, but at least those people are with you. And then here's the final piece, and then I'm going to get out of here. Something's going on in California with this weather. It is freezing out here this morning. The final one is, if you're in high school, you've got some friends that you may have come up through elementary and junior high, and now you're in high school. You're going to have to move away from some of these friends. Not, you know, you don't just move away like you're better than them, but you're going to have to get another set of friends that are moving forward the way you're trying to move forward, because you guys are going to work together 5, 10, 15 years from now. And you guys are going to start, because you're in that mindset anyway, and you're going to start developing some ideas and some thoughts and some businesses and something that's outside of the norm of going to work every day. Those are the people you're going to want to work with, and you're looking for good people first, and then people that are putting in the hard work. And then if you can, maybe they're in the sports field and you guys can work out together, and you can push each other to do better and better and better, and you guys can follow each other as you go away to school, and then maybe come back after that. You're going to meet some great people in college too, but start surrounding yourself with really good people. And I can't tell you, no matter what you're going to do the rest of your life, you can't do it on your own if you want to be really successful. If you just want to be kind of there, and life is kind of middling, and you want to be you know, just that average person doing well, but just, you know, not too much pressure on you or anything like that, then you're fine. Just stay the way you're doing things. But if you want to excel in life, you're going to have good people around you. You cannot do it all on your own. It's just too much pressure. It's too complicated in this world. You're going to need a team of people that are all working together. Just make sure if you're going to do that, that everybody wins. And it's not that hard to do, because we're doing it right now. Every deal I do, everybody's going to win. And many times people are doing better than me. But the final piece of this I want to do, and I feel like I'm getting on this soapbox thing again, but you got to bring something to the game. You can't sit around and think, oh, well, I'm in with the group too, so I deserve to be a part of it. You got to have something to give in this game. When I walk into a room, I've got AthleticSOS, and we got some other projects that we're working on that I revealed to some of these people. So when I walk in a room, I've got something to throw into the game and to the table, and it's valuable. And so I can sit there now, and all you know, these people are like multimillionaires, and they've got these huge corporations and businesses and stuff like that. But I can sit at the table with them because I created something that is beneficial to everybody else at the table. And even if it's not to what they're doing, they know somebody else that it can benefit. And so, and then the final piece, I know I said that was it. You got to think outside the box here. You got to have ideas in your head. You got to be able to sit there and go, even if they're talking about the stuff they're doing, you could say, hey, have you guys thought about doing this or doing that? You're not telling them what they should do, just something that you saw or you heard about. Be well read. Read a bunch of different magazines for different subjects. Read some books, especially if you're thinking of, you know, if you want to get into business, learn about marketing. Just learn about, okay, how do I help you so that we can work together, and it can help me too, and then we can help that person and that person, and then you're going to get back with those buddies you had from high school and reach out and say, hey, what are you guys working on? You guys doing anything? Let's do something. And then you guys sit down, and if you don't have the idea, maybe they do, and you can be a part of that and see what you can bring to that too. And so help them build. And even if you're helping them build their thing while you're doing it, start thinking, hey, what else could be added to this thing? Maybe I'll go do that with my group, my family. And that's my last piece of this thing. Please, people, try to have families, because to me, the whole point of this whole routine is family legacy. So if you're going to do something, go ahead and start your own family. And whether you're male and female, when you guys get together, do everything possible to have the mindset that we're going to stay together, we're going to stick this out. We're going to try to do our best to stay together, because that's how you build wealth. You can't keep separating, and then because the money gets separated. You need to build with somebody else. And then if you do that together, then you can start doing something outside of just going to work and paying your bills. If you're by yourself, you're basically trying to figure out how to keep the lights on. Basically, you're at a marginal thing. And even if you do really, really well by yourself, what's the point? What are you doing it for? Just for you? For your ego? just keep yourself busy, you will find that if you're really successful and you're all alone successful, it's going to get really, really lonely as you age, because once you make it and that money's coming in and things are doing well, you're going to be looking around for something else to do, because there's only so many places you can travel in the world. Yes, you can go see everything everywhere, but if you don't have people in your life that you care about, that you want to leave something to keep you driven, you're going to be really, really, really disappointed at some point in time. At least that's what I feel. And I know that some other people, it's not everybody, but I'm just saying for as a general rule, you want to have something that you're building for, someone you're building for, someone you can leave things to. You want to leave a legacy so that they can step off of what you've created and they can move on to the next thing. And I know you guys are like, I'm in the 9th grade, I'm in high school, what are you talking about? But this is also for the parents listening to this. But I promise you, the things that I'm telling you, if you do the things that I'm talking about, yes, the game is rigged in a certain way. You don't try to hurt anybody else, but if you're going to put all this effort in, if you're going to do all the things that you need to do to be successful in life, and you have some kids or something like that, you're going to rig it too for them. And it's not just that you're going to move them up through your company, but you're going to allow your kids, because you've got this network now. Remember I told you, don't try to do everything on your own. Those kids are going to be able to get into other fields that they're interested in, because you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and all you're going to do is mention it one day. You're going to be someplace, you're going to be sitting, you're going to say, hey, you know, Johnny, Susie, or is interested in this or in that. Oh, really? You know, I got a friend that's has a company that does that. You want to sit him down there? I'll give him a call and tell him she's going to call him or he's going to call him. And all of a sudden you've just set something up. And that's because you put something out into the world, or you got involved in something that is bigger than you are, and you benefit other people. It comes back to your legacy line. And so that's the way the world's working now. And I'm watching it in real action. And again, don't forget, you guys, I spent 30 plus years working in a government environment, where that's harder to do unless you're going to go have your kids go back into that government environment. Because once you leave in the government world, you have to take tests, and then you have to wait, and then you have to go take an interview to get to the next interview. And they try to keep it so that it's not a lot of nepotism in there. But then you look around in there and you'll find it's the same thing going on in there. And whenever there was a promotion opportunity within the government where I worked, we already knew who was going to get that position for the most part. Every now and then there's a surprise, but for the most part, it's the same thing going on. You just have to get there. Or if it's your section or your division and they write out the specs for the job description, they put it in a way where there's always something in there that's very unique to your section, to your department. And so it gives you a leg up, and nobody says anything when the leg up is for them. They only say something when they go to an interview and somebody inside get it and they go, I shouldn't even gone to that if they were going to do that. But you go anyway because they can hear what you have to say. Maybe they do give it to the person in their section, but they remember you, and they may have another opening coming up and they'll remember you, and you go back and you do it again, and you let them turn you down. You don't ever not go. You make somebody turn you down. You reach out and you make them turn you down. Okay, so that's it for that. Remember, down below, I give you a code. I give you the instructions for how to use the code. Go ahead and use our software. You're going to find all the schools you academically qualified to attend that have your sport, offer athletic scholarships, and you can see where you are best fit. And we have a color scheme to help you do that. You'll understand it once you get in there. And also down below, I have a link that shows you just a brief, I think it's like a 1-minute video that shows you what AthleticSOS is, so you can kind of see what it is, because I never show what it is anymore, but I always put that link down below. Go ahead and take a look at that, and I think you'll like what you see. And then the final piece of this is, if you have a business that's in the youth sports industry or in the sports industry, I'd love to work with you guys. We're working with a ton of really great organizations, and we are making deals for them to be able to use our software and give it through their business. And then what was the other thing I was saying? Oh, and any schools or travel club programs or any high schools, if you're an athletic director, if you're a coach and you want to use it and give it to your kids, absolutely contact us. You can contact us at info@athleticsos.com. And so I definitely will work with you. And if there's any way, you know, it's so funny as we're growing, it's kind of weird. I've got some other people working with me now. It's like a real business, and it's kind of exciting, but it's a little apprehension there, right? But I'm having a great time, and we know we're helping a bunch of kids. And as we go into this 2023 year, it's springtime is coming up pretty soon, and then we're going to hit summer, and then we'll be back in our cycle again. And I want to make sure you guys have the best spring, summer chance to grow, get better, and also put yourself in position so some college coaches can come and take a look at you when you're playing during this time period where you're out of school, that they're going to come and see you, and then you're in a great position for them to be able to offer you an athletic scholarship. All right, guys, as always, best of luck in all your endeavors, and if you want to keep playing, we can help you stay in the game. Bye.